Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danni Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello. I haven't had a reminder to say that we've gone live. So if anybody's watching on Facebook or YouTube, can you pop a comment so I know that it has worked? Because my phone's just had a moment and doesn't want to do anything, which I understand. Last show of the week tonight, we've got Jamie Lindsay is going to come in and have a chat to us. We've got shows this weekend. If you're in Tassie, Thinner's got some gigs happening this weekend and a few other places. So let me know if you're going to go and see somebody live. I love it when you guys all send me photos and messages. So please let me know what you're looking at and where you're headed to next. We might welcome Jamie in the room. Hello.
Hello, Danni. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I just wanted to make sure that we were live, and Chris said yes. So there. Thank you, Chris. I was just making sure because my phone froze and I couldn't tell. So how have you been? It's only been a couple of months
since I last saw you. Yeah, which was in Tassie, which was lovely to see you for those couple of nights while I was down there. Had a great time. Had a really good time, and I was. It was one of those things. It was the first time after COVID that I was able to get down and see the family, which was lovely. Got to hang out with my dad and my sister, who you all met.
Yes, we had a great time.
Oh, I had a great time, especially on the second show down at Zelda's.
Yeah. Wasn't that amazing, the atmosphere? Yeah,
it was so good. And my dad, who's 72, was up having a good little dance and stuff. Yeah. And it was great. And my sister and my son, I also brought my son down with me as well. And it was great. But it was lovely to see you.
It was so much fun. And in person once.
In person, I know, which is like rare these days, you know.
I know. We're not used to it, are we? Hey,
No. So, planning on coming back down again next year. We were just talking about that before. My sister's having a big 5-0, so she wants me to play for that and get the band happening and rock out for that. So I'll be definitely down, but hopefully I'll be down sooner than that, because June a long time away.
It feels like a long time away.
It does. But look, I do miss my family. Obviously I have my family up here. I have my wife and my children up here, and but all of my my mom and my dad and my sisters are still down in Tassie, and I miss them. I see them on FaceTime and stuff, but it's not the same.
It's not, is it? And especially after 3 years with COVID, and you, because you don't live in the same state as your son either. So was that one of the first?
No. So my son is in Victoria. Doing his own thing down there. He's 22, so he's off. Seriously, it's so hard to get my son on the phone. I feel like cats in the cradle. Seriously. I'm like, call your dad. He's like, yeah, I've been busy, Dad. I've got work going on, my girlfriend and blah, blah. I'm like, call your dad. I miss you. It's like he's busy living his life, as we all were at that age. I understand.
Exactly.
Definitely. So, but just call your dad, it's.
You're okay.
Just so you're okay. Yeah, no, he's
fine. Did you get
to
see him through COVID? Or because of the lockdowns, you weren't able to?
No, I didn't. And obviously Victoria were locked down pretty bad. So, obviously FaceTime and all that. But he came up. Oh God, I can't remember. But it was the first opportunity that we had when the borders were open. I got him on a flight. I said, get up here quick. And so he flew up here, and we spent about 5 days together. It was amazing. Good. It was so good. He's a great little guitar player as well, which you saw in Danni. And
needs his own page.
Yes. Yes, it was. He played on the Saturday night with me, and I think he did a couple of songs on the Thursday night in Lawrence as well. But it was great, man. Yeah. So look, I definitely, I definitely want to get down to Tassie more. My mum and dad aren't getting any younger, and they're kind of in their twilight years. So I definitely want to make more of an effort. I haven't been the best of son over the years with coming down. I've just been career, work, and you kind of get caught up in your own thing. But I definitely want to come down once or twice a year, especially now that there's so much happening down in Tasmania. You guys are...
Music has gone crazy down here.
It's gone crazy, Mathina, Forth, Longley. There's so many great venues to play in Tassie, and a lot of big names are coming down wanting to play at those venues. It's great. It's so good.
Isn't it? And I mean, it's really changing. I think COVID's actually helped us down here in a bit, because people could still, we could still have live music, not at the very beginning, but and I think it grew our audiences because now we have shows and there's just so many people there. And I think it wasn't sold out on Friday night, but I think it was around 1,300 people. And
wow,
it's so lovely to see. It's a small country town that it never
was that for Lee Kernaghan?
Yeah, that was for Lee on Friday night.
That's so good.
Yeah, the next day. It was incredible. So the more that we do it, the better. I think people are really appreciating getting out and seeing live stuff now. It's just we've got to get them to pre-buy.
I think just country in general, I can't remember. No, it was after the Golden Guitar nominations. I was just thinking to myself, just how good the state of country music is in Australia, and how many amazing acts from, James Johnson, which personally I think will clean up this year.
Me too. I agree.
James Johnson, Casey Barnes, Amber Lawrence, Casey, who just won the ARIA tonight. If you didn't know that, sorry to spoil that for you, but
he won the ARIA. I think he looked shocked.
And I did a show with Casey up at the Central Coast here. In when was it? I think it was January. We did the Central Coast Country Music Festival up here, and it was myself, Viper Creek, and Casey, and it was the first time I actually got to meet him. And he's a lovely, lovely guy, really humbled. It was still kind of COVID-y kind of vibe, so we're all kind of like talking from a distance. He was like, hello, we were talking, but he's a really nice guy. But anyway, regardless of that, it was, we're in such a good state of country music, looking at the Golden Guitar nomination.
How do you vote? How do you vote?
It's a pool of talent, man. It's an ocean of talent. It's so good.
Every nomination that come through, there's not one that you go, they don't deserve to be there.
Absolutely.
And how do you choose? Like looking at those lists, and it says, you can vote now. I can't.
Yeah, look, it's very, very hard, and they all deserve to be there. They all work really, really hard, as we all do. And it's a great scene to be a part of. It's healthier than it's ever been. And just look at that new talent. It's a wonderful time. I've only been back to country music since 2019, and I'm just, I'm so pumped. I'm so vibed to be a part of it. It's thriving as where, Sydney, for example, there's no real places for anyone to play, with pop rock sort of thing, right? There's no venues left that really support original music, which is a shame, because maybe 10, 15 years ago, there was heaps of venues that really supported original music, so you could play at the Annandale, and those, iconic places that really supported original music. They're gone. They're all gone. So for the pop and the rock scene, it's really sad, but the country scene is better than it's ever been.
What we've always dreamt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of flipped, because back in the day, back in the late 90s, when I was kind of, doing the country thing,
not cool. It was not cool to be country.
It wasn't that cool. It wasn't that cool.
Now it's the opposite.
it's totally the opposite. And I think country's almost like, because I produce my own music, so I'm listening to what's current. I'm listening to what Casey's doing, what James Johnson's doing, what Lee's doing. I'm listening to their producers and their songwriters, how they're writing their songs, how they're recording and producing their songs, so that I can put that in. Yeah, that's right. So my music, my sound, what I do in my studio here, fits in with that. You know what I mean? And which is why I produce all my stuff here, write my own songs, record, produce, but I send it off to Nashville to be mixed. Right?
Yes.
Because I want that radio Nashville sound.
Yeah.
Not that you can't get it from here, because there's some great mixing engineers that can do it. But I've got a guy in Nashville who I really like and who I really trust. And I've been using him since the start of the year, and I can just tell that, my songs fit in with the same kind of
category, kind of that fit.
Yeah, sonically, which is really important. But to me, it almost sounds like I was listening to a country song. I was listening to 94.1, and there was a song that came on. It was from an American artist, but seriously, it could have been Nickelback.
Yeah.
Right? It could have been Nickelback, early 2000. That was how it sounds. And I feel that country music, especially that pop rock country music, is really kind of, that crossover that was uncool is really cool now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
really cool.
Honestly, it's worldwide. Country would have to be one of the leading genres at the moment, and again, that's because we are so flexible. There are so many styles of it. There's so much. There's so much room to play in our genre.
It really is.
So it's a lot of freedom.
Yeah, and look, the tree of country music has so many branches. You've got so many different styles of country music. Whether it's the pop rock or bluegrass, Americana, traditional Slim Dusty, kind of bush balladeer stuff. Man, there's even rap country now, Danni.
Yes, there is. Yes,
which is cool.
Chris has just made a comment too. He said that he was at did he get with Katie Jane on Saturday night, and it was all the covers, the country songs, are the ones that younger people in the crowd went off to. It's right. It's a really cool response.
When I do my shows, I have these 18-year-olds come up to me and go, "Can you play The Gambler?" And I'm just like,
it used to be so uncool to ask for that song, and I still used to do it anyway.
I mean, it's a great. I mean, I love Kenny Rogers. I grew up with Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, all that stuff, and I've known The Gambler since I was probably 17. That was probably when I learnt it, but it's amazing to see 18-year-olds ask for The Gambler, Country Road, wow, it's so good. So, country's very popular. It's in a really good state. It's
really good
very
state.
Healthy.
It's really just amazing to see. Actually, I love it.
It is. Are you going to Tamworth?
Yep, I am. I'm coming for, I think, 8 days. I think I've got there 8 days booked. Yes. So
are you coming to one of my shows?
Of course.
Of
course.
You
going to be there the whole time?
I won't be there the whole time.
You'll get to meet my mum.
I'm going up. I'm going up for 2 shows on the Sunday, Monday of the first weekend, and then I've got to come back to Sydney, and then I'm coming up for the last weekend from Thursday through to Sunday. I'm bringing my family. I'm bringing my wife up for the very first time. I'm bringing my mother and father-in-law. I'm bringing my kids up. My little one, my little 5-year-old's really excited. She wants boots. She wants hat. She wants some. What do you call those?
The country tops with the, the frilly.
Yeah, she wants, like, with the tassels. She wants all that stuff. I'm going to kid her out. It's going to be so
she's
good.
going to love it.
She's going to love it. I love it, and it's something that and my mother and father-in-law are around that 70-year-old age, and they love music as well, but they've never been to the Country Music Festival. I'm like, oh my God, you
Wow.
would love it.
I'm
Because
taking my mum for the first time too.
oh,
Crazy.
wow.
It's
Has she
just
been
such
before?
no, and
Oh.
she's never been somewhere where I've been working Country Kickback. She's seen a couple of episodes and she knows that I do it, but she hasn't been anywhere that I've been doing it. So it's a whole new thing. She doesn't like the heat, so that will be interesting, you know.
That's
but
so good, man. She's just gonna love it. It's
the best feeling.
For me, it's a real buzz. It's a real vibe. I'm buzzing the whole time I'm here. I don't get much sleep, but I'm buzzing the whole time I'm there because, you're running into friends and artists. Yeah, it's so good, man.
Music, it's inspiring to hear what others are doing, and then there's watching people starting out on Peel Street and seeing them grow every time you go there each year, and it's an amazing time. Yes. Are you heading to the awards?
Sorry?
Are you going to the awards?
I am. Absolutely.
Yes, me too.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
I love the awards. I mean, I sit there and dream about being up on stage, and I dream about winning a golden guitar, and it really inspires me. I always leave the awards night going, right, this year I'm going to work harder, and I'm going to do this and do that. So
I'm the same. Yeah, listening to that, I'm like, oh, these people are going to do it next year. I love watching. Chris is heading to Tamworth from the 11th to the 23rd.
Awesome, Chris.
For the whole thing, Chris. Wow. We're nearly going for the whole thing. We're going to fly in on the Monday. Our flights have changed already, so who knows? But I don't know why we bother booking them because they change them anyway.
Oh God! Oh, well, I hope you get there safely and it's all smooth sailing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to Tamworth, and just I've already got the next year planned with releases, and then like the rest of the album will be out as well. So plenty of stuff coming from me next year. I'm really excited. I mean, this is like, for me, this is it as far as like, this is what I'll be doing until they put me in the grave. You know what I mean? Like, I will be a country artist for the rest of my life, and I will just be releasing music and building fans, and this is what I do. So this is what I do. Yeah.
I love it. I cannot wait. I think every release your music is growing and evolving, and looking at Open Road now, I remember that Thursday night when you played that song, and I was sitting there with two people that had never really, they were not country fans, or three people actually that were not country driven, but came out of there going, that new song's fantastic. I can't wait to hear it. And then to hear it then, and then to hear now fully recorded and seeing it out to the world. How are you feeling about this song? Because like that night, that had a great vibe, that song. Like, you knew that you were onto a winner, didn't you? Like, it's so good.
I did because I always road test my songs anyway. And when I write a new song, the first thing I do is I go out and perform it. and like warts and all, even if I forget the lyrics or whatever.
No one knows because they haven't heard it before.
Exactly right. And it kind of helps me from a few different angles, timing wise, tempo wise, whether it should be slower or faster, whether the flow of the song works well, whether the lyrics works well, is it connecting, or all these things I think about. And then, the very first time I played it was in April up at the festival, Tamworth, and that was and I recorded that. And then if you listen to that, the lyrics in the middle eight are different. The structure of the ending is different. So over time, from April to whenever I finished the recording, it evolved. And that was purely through me playing it and seeing how it felt live, because it's got to feel right to
in the
play,
audience.
and then from there I was like, yep, I'm happy with it, and that's what I recorded. And yeah, look, it's had great response. It's been really, really cool, especially radio. Radio has jumped on it and been flogging it, and
it's a really good radio song. It is. It's a
really good, and lots of feedback, lots of messages. You know, it's a, you know, the song was written on the way up to Tamworth in January. So even though
I ask you, when did you write it? Oh,
yeah, so
it's only a new song.
Yeah, so when the festival was postponed in January, the caravan park reached out to me where I was staying, reached out and said, hey, look, we've still got lots of guests up here that haven't been able to change their plans. Yeah, because the festival was like literally 3 weeks out and they postponed it.
Yeah, it was so close.
It was so close. So there was still lots of guests. So the caravan park, which was the Austin, decided just to put on a couple of low-key shows within the park. So they reached out to me, Darren Coggan, and a couple of other artists as well, Andrew Swift. And we all said, yeah, you know, I'll come up. You know, if there's people there, I'll come and play, you know. So I got in the car from the Central Coast. It's about 4.5 hours up to Tamworth. And I got in the car, and it was the first kind of road trip that I'd done since COVID. You know, it was the first.
Yeah, it would have been, because it was right at that time. Yeah.
It was right at that time. So, because we'd been locked down, whatever, and I hadn't really done a big stint of driving. And I just remember being like an hour and a half out on the road and just feeling like I felt like I could just keep going and drive and drive and drive, you know. It felt so good. And driving up from here, you go through Scone and Muswellbrook and all these beautiful, and there's just like amazing scenery, rolling hills and mountain tops, and it's just
free.
I was free, and I really felt like that. And I was driving along in my van, and I'm just, you know, having all these emotions come over me, and I was like, God, it feels good to be on the open road. Oh my God, I just feel free, and I could just drive and drive, and I feel like a gypsy, and I could drive, and all these kind of like words were coming. I was like, my God, I'm writing a song. Oh my God, I'm writing a song. You know, and
without even realizing it.
Without even realizing it. So then I was like, okay, focus, right?
Let's get this in.
I got a feeling, a burning desire, you know, and then it started to evolve. And then by the time I got to Tamworth, I quickly checked in. Oh, I pulled over to get something from the servo. I was hungry. So I pulled over, I grabbed my phone, I sang whatever I'd had up until that point into my phone, right?
Yes.
I didn't want to lose the idea. So I was, you know, and then went to the servo, grabbed a sausage roll, back in the van, right, and I'm driving off. And then I got to Tamworth, I quickly checked in, grabbed the guitar, and like sat down and started writing what became Open Road.
Wow. It just happened. It was just meant to be.
It was meant to be, like, and these things happen. I never really sit down and go, oh, okay, today's the day I'm going to write a song. I don't write songs like that. There's nothing wrong with writing songs like that. No. I just don't. I write songs when I get inspired to write songs. There could be a period in time where I write every day, or there could be a period in time where I might write one song a month. It really just depends when I get the inspiration. Yeah. And I just act on it. I act on it. You know,
and there's nothing wrong with that either, because it's by doing that, it's actually your feelings are actually you're feeling it, which means other people are going to connect too, because if one person has that feeling, somebody else does. So
I like to think that, and I think the same way as you. I think if I'm feeling it, there's got to be someone else out in the world that would feel it as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and Chris said that makes a song very real. That's
I've never been a contrived songwriter. I'm like, I take my hat off to the people in Nashville that literally every day punch in, go into a room, write a song, punch out, see you tomorrow. you know, and that's what they
Turn
do.
your
And
creativeness on, turn it off.
yeah.
Your emotions on, turn them off. I suppose we do that at work as nurses. I suppose it's a switch that people learn to flick, isn't it?
But but see, the national songwriters are a bit different because they'll do this. They'll go, well, you know, we feel that this month pickup trucks are popular, so we need more songs about pickup trucks. So they will target their audience. They will target, you know, they have an agenda. And I'm not speaking out about it because I'm all for whatever goes, you know, whatever works for you. That's great. You write your songs how you write your songs. I'm not saying that any formula is wrong or right. It's not. I've just never been a songwriter that's worked that way. I've always worked off inspiration. Otherwise, I just don't write a song, you know,
I think that's the thing. Like you connect that way with your audience. You can see that you're on stage. You really feel what you're doing, and it's part of you what you're doing. So that's your style, both in writing and in your performance as well, in person, definitely.
I've that's just who I am. That's just who I am. That's just how I'm made, and I write when I feel, you know. And I've written songs like where I don't even know where they've come from, and it's like, you know, and not that I'm religious at all, but you know, there's a greater source of something, whether it's energy or something. There's a greater power of something, and sometimes I feel like a vessel that I've just been like touched, just like, now you're writing this song now, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't even feeling that way,
but I am now.
But I am now. You know? So let's write a song about it, you know. And
that's
it just happens that way. It just
special.
happens that way.
When it's meant to happen, it just happens.
It just happens, you know, it really does. And so Open Road was written on the open road, and that's how I was feeling at the time. And
I think you've just written your bio. Your new bio.
my new bio. That's
right.
But so you know, and people write songs in so many different ways, and that's cool. That's cool. You know, however you get there,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter as long as you get there.
And I think that's the thing. It's art. Music is no different to you sitting down and doing a painting or a drawing. There's nothing about it that's wrong. It's what you feel. That people can say it's not a song that I like, or I don't feel that, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just a different taste. And your art comes out in the form of country and in the form of what you're doing now in your performance, and that's what makes it so special. I think is it's that realness.
For me, I'll be deadly honest with you. For me, it's all about legacy. Like, I'm 45, right? If I was trying to make money from music, I would have quit.
Wrong industry.
45 years ago. You know, it's
go and study law.
Exactly right. You know, because the lawyers make all the money. You know.
Or doctors.
You know, the long game. You stay in the long game when it's really your passion. You know, because that's what I've always done. I've always written songs. I've always been a singer. I've always performed. That's what I've been doing since I was 17, you know. And I don't know how to do anything else. So for me, I don't think about, am I going to win golden guitars? Am I going to make money? You know, for me, it's about legacy. It's about when I'm long and gone, this is what I've left and this is what I've contributed to the world while I was here. Exactly. Hi, Jonathan. How are you, buddy? Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you for watching us. I agree. I think I was actually in the car coming back from Lee the other night and working, and I was exhausted, as I was telling you before. But one of the things that we mentioned in the car was, you know, you're exhausted from this. You know, you're wearing yourself into the ground. And I turned around and said, yeah, but I don't know how to do anything different because this is who I am. But how many people do you see out there like yourself living their dream?
Yeah.
We are genuinely living the best, truest part of ourselves and out there being completely real, because this is what we feel. It's what gets us. So that's big enough payment in so many ways, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, for me as a songwriter, it's almost like having a photo album of these little stories, my kids and their kids and their kids and their kids.
Yep.
We'll be able to look back on my songs and try and understand what their great grandfather was like, or whatever, through
where they've come from.
But through music and through song, it's a very special thing. Music is such an amazing language. It's the best, man. It's the best, and I just love it. I just love it, and I love sharing it, and I love writing it. I love being a part of it, because I get to work with cool people like you.
Look, we're probably related, and we met through music.
Oh, for sure. My dad reckons that we probably are somewhere along the lines. It's probably blurred. But we might as well be.
Yeah, we come from those same areas, the same things. But that's what, music is a bigger power than anything, I think, for all of us that are in it. And
it really is.
I don't think I could see you ever being able to stop, even if you tried. Someone can run a guitar, but I think you'll find another way to make it.
I think if you squeeze me hard enough, music notes will just come out of my skin. It'll be like some kind of melody. It'll be probably Twinkle Little Star, because let me tell you, I've got young kids. Let me tell you how much I have sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star over the last 5 years. Oh my God.
You need to record that. You might need to do a children's album.
It's actually really funny. Anyway, it's a look, it's a wonderful thing, man. It's a wonderful thing, and I'm really proud of all the artists that are nominated. I'm proud of everyone with the arias, Casey, Amber, the Wolf Brothers, everyone, man. We are kicking ass. We are kicking ass. Country music is kicking ass.
Yesterday morning, was it yesterday morning, the day before? I don't know what day it is today. When I was sitting there, I was at work. I'd gotten to work and I said, look, I'm sorry, I'm going to play this. Now, I can go into another room if you want. And there was only one other person there. And she's like, no. I don't think she understood how emotional it was going to be.
Oh, wow.
I think by the time she realized, it was probably too late to send me out to the other room. But it's you're right. How proud we felt when those nominations came through. It was amazing. We have got the strongest people in this country leading the way for everybody in the industry. It's just such a huge.
It's so good, man. Yeah, look, it's so good, and it's an amazing. Anyone out there that's wanting to get into the country music scene, look, it's tough from the point that there's a lot of noise. Like it's hard to make noise, because there's a lot of amazing artists out there that are doing amazing stuff. But all you can do is just do your thing. All you can do is just write, record your song, put your songs out there and do whatever you can. But it's really tough game. Like, it's really tough.
You've got to have thick skin in the industry.
You've got to have the thick skin. You've got to have the stamina. And you've got to be in it for the long haul, because, none of these people have been overnight success,
No, not one of them. No.
Not one of them. If you look at James Johnson, who's just
Everyone
of a sudden
thinks, he's suddenly huge. But you look back at his career, he has been around.
Yeah, there was a photo of him that he posted the other day when he was like 10, busking in the mall in Tamworth.
What appears to be overnight is not overnight. And then he went down the management path in music to grow his knowledge in it that way. He's had years and years of hard work. And it's
years of hard work, and it's finally paying off for him. And
he deserves it too.
He deserves it, everything, and he will get it too. Like, he's a great guy, he's a great artist, and he's really humble, and he will smash it. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I always have this thing that I call the artist has to be a package. It's great to sit there and write a great song and release an awesome song. But if you don't have the rest of it to follow through, you've got to have the personality. You've got to have you've got to put the effort into your music. You've got to put the time into it. You've got to put the time into the socials, into your fans, into the people in the industry. You've got to support others in the industry to get anywhere as well. You have to be a full package. He's got that. He's that full package.
He really does. And if you think of the other people in that lineup, Wolf Brothers, Amber Lawrence, Casey Barnes, James, they've all got it too, man. They've all got it too.
Honestly, you cannot vote in that and go wrong. It doesn't matter who you click on, it's the right choice.
It's the right choice.
It doesn't matter who it is.
That's the thing. Everyone, because that's how good the country music industry is. It's so good. It's not just one person that's just, I mean, Keith Urban, Troy Cassar-Daley, Lee Kernaghan, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely.
All of them.
Yeah, man. It's all there, man. It's all there. And it's really exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And it's what I've always dreamt about. I used to, at school, everyone would tease me. And that song, the Alan Jackson song, and just at the end of it, he says, the whole world's gone country.
Yeah.
I used to say that one day that will come true. And I was teased like crazy. But you know what? It's coming true.
Well, the music industry on the pop and rock side, I mean, there's hardly any rock bands left. And if they are, they're all legacy bands.
And they're still got country.
It's all country now, man, and it's such a, I mean, let alone here. I mean, it's by far the biggest thing here, but in America,
it's huge. It's bringing in millions of dollars, billions. It's incredible, and really you look over there. Look at how many of them are Australian too. Look at our roots. Yeah. We're everywhere.
Morgan Evans, and
Heath. Yeah. Look at Katrina Burgoyne, Troy Kemp. There's so many over there. Yeah. Mike and Jay O'Shea,
Christy Cox.
There's just hundreds of. You can keep going. There's just too many. We love it, but we do love it when they come back to visit.
Yeah.
Now tell us, Open Road. We've released this, and it's obviously your last single for this year. How do you feel ending the year on this note? Are you happy with how you've progressed this year?
I really have. The biggest thing that I've seen this year is I've built fans, and to me, as much as it's as much as it would be a dream to win an ARIA or a golden guitar, like that would be amazing. But at the end of the day, it's all about fans. It's all about bums on seats and actually having people come and see you play and want to pay and come and see you play, and that's actually really hard to do. It's really, really hard to do.
Especially at the moment. People are scared to buy tickets.
Yeah, so look, I think this year for me, my fan base has grown. Okay.
Yes, it definitely has. Yeah.
Yeah, and
people know who you are. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I think I just need to keep working on that. Keep doing. I've got 4 more singles scheduled to be released for next year, as well as the rest of the album. All this will become an album. So the 4 songs from this year and the 4 songs from next year, and plus a few more will make the album.
Yep.
Yeah, and just more shows, and but yeah, I've been really, really happy with this year. It's just a building thing, getting out there. I want to do some more festivals. I want to get my name out there. I just do exactly the same thing, but more. Yeah.
But more of it and continuing, because it did start slow this year, but we've got there. I think we've got there. And that's actually a good point while we're at it. Tell us what festivals are wherever you are and near you that would you'd love to see people play at. Tell us some of the festival names, because there might be some that we haven't heard of yet that we might be missing out on. So tell us wherever you are. It doesn't have to be just in Australia. I know Jonathan's watching from the UK. Any of you people watching, tell us in the comments or send us a private message. Let us know some of the festivals and venues that are really good. Yeah.
Great idea, Danni. Yeah, look, and I've kind of started making a bit of a list of my own, because there's heaps of festivals that I want to play at, you know. And there's new ones popping up all the time, which I'd never even heard of. I was like, oh my God, they're having a festival in Scone. Okay, cool, great. That sounds awesome.
I know, and that's what I was saying to you before. Like, I keep thinking of things to add to lists and places, and I want to get out on the road with you guys. I want to go and see these places, but some of them I've never heard of, and then you see what they've done, and they've done a great job. It's lovely to hear. So pop it in the comments, doesn't matter where you are. Even if you think we already know it, put it in the comments. We want to know, or send it in a message if you'd prefer. It doesn't matter. But what a way for you to end the year, because it really has. It started out slow, but it's really picked up for you. And
it has, Look, you know, you don't know. Every time I release a song, it's an emotional roller coaster for me. You know, is it going to get on radio? Is it going to get on a playlist? Are the fans going to like it? Because you write these songs. You know, you think they're good. You're right.
Yeah.
You're proud. Baby. So when you release them out to the world, they're no longer yours. They're, you know, what will be.
And I think sometimes the intention behind them changes too, because what you wrote it about and what you felt, and someone listens to it and they pick up on something else, it changes the whole thing too. And I don't know whether it's like that for you when someone comes up and says, it makes me think of this when I listen to that song. Does that, you know, make that song mean more to you because it's something that you hadn't thought of when you wrote it? Does it then, do you sort of absorb that as well?
Absolutely. You know, music's always up to your own interpretation, you know. And my song Sirius, which is about my dog called Sirius, who died, you know, I've had lots of people, you know, who love that song, didn't know that it was about my dog until they saw my film clip, which I kind of find a dog tag in the sand, and they go, oh my God, it's about his dog. But they had no idea, because I don't mention about my dog. You know, the song's about
it's about
losing the one that you know, or losing someone that you love, right? That's what the song's about, you know. And so I've had a few people go, you know, I never knew your song Sirius was about your dog. And then once they do know, they start feeling it about their animals they've lost.
That's special.
And it means even so much more to them after that, which is crazy. So look, interpretation is a wonderful thing that, you know, the individual has that right to take it on board, you know. Obviously a song like Open Road is you know, explains itself pretty well. You know, when I released Carry On, which was the first single for the year, which was all about suicide, that was pretty heavy.
It was a heavy one to start the year with,
I know, right? Come out with a bang, but that was pretty heavy. You know, I did a month-long run of interviews for that song when it first came out, and I tell you, by the time the whole point of the song was to make more awareness of mental health, right? And to talk about people speaking up when they are having those difficulty times. But I tell you, Danni, after all the interviews I did about talking about suicide, and everyone that I spoke to knew someone
it's heavy.
It's heavy, man. It's heavy. And I was really relieved to get on to the next song, which was Bumper to Bumper, because it was nice and fluffy and just happy. And it wasn't, you know,
Yeah.
Easy listening to and easy digestible as well. Carry On was really hard to talk about, even though that was the whole point of the song, is to get that message out there. It was really heavy, really draining on me. So
I think that's highlighted another side of that whole thing too, because it's really important to do what you were doing and release that song and talk about it and bring that awareness. But people support people so much that you don't realize sometimes it's heavier on you than it's actually affecting you without you realizing. And it's another side of that.
It was really affecting me. I was like saying to my wife about probably three weeks into the month long of release press. I was like, I can't wait for this to be over.
Yeah.
I'm just, and it was really
a really important lesson and a really important story to come from it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really proud to have a song that moved people, and we were able to talk about. And every interview that I did about it, we always finish off with, like the radio announcer would always go, and if you are listening to this and you are experiencing some troubles in your life, reach out, helpline,
definitely
lifeline. And so I was just, it was like, it was a beautiful thing. It was kind of a it was a weird moment, hearing people's stories, people's stories about their sons or daughters,
When you think of it, like, we've had 3 years where your frontline workers have been through so much stuff, and just think about it's another level of impact that people don't probably understand.
Yeah.
People that are doing that all day in, day out. It's another highlight that people need to think about, to all these layers of mental health and how important it is to support people again. You think that person's great that's up there smiling all the time and pushing someone through and helping all these people, but sometimes they might need a break too. So it's good. It's a good side to let people realize and show them. Definitely.
Well said, mate. It's important, but it's also important to feel happy as well, which is why I was happy when Bring On the Summertime came out, and
how good did that feel?
It felt so good, because I was just like, Bring On the Summertime. I want to just have barbecues and drink beer, and that's what the song was about,
How good is that? And you know what? We're nearly there. It's nearly summer. It is meant to snow here this week, but it was 21 or 22 degrees. We had snow last week, and we're supposed to get snow this week, but it's 22 degrees today, and it's perfect weather. It wasn't windy, not that I saw it, but. And Jonathan, thank you so much. Jonathan's just popped this up. I'm not very good at pushing myself, am I, on this? Have you been looking at the People's Choice Awards? Has anyone been nominating Jamie in any of the categories? Tell us if you haven't voted. Now you can. Thank you so much,
Danni. That's really nice of you. Yes, everyone vote for best radio show, country show. Danni, you're the best.
Was it? Yeah, it's the best radio or program on Australian country. Yeah, it's a mixed category. It can be program or radio, and that's why. And he's put the link there.
I like your hat. I like your hat, Jonathan. It really suits you. I like your hat.
I do. And Jonathan, is that the photo that you took recently because you were on your holiday? Was that the hat that you were wearing for those photos? I think it is. I think People's Choice Awards is a really good one because people are voting. It's not an industry person, and that's why I think it's so good. And I know that people would have been putting your name down, and there's so many artists to put there. So it's a big thing to vote, and remember when you're doing it that so many people it helps. So the more people put in for it, the better.
Well said. It's a beautiful thing, and I've said this to you before, but I absolutely love what you do. I love this show. I think you're a great human being, and I think you're just a real spark, man. You're a real spark. I love it.
It runs in the state, I think. We're bred like it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Now, I know we've touched on it before, Tamworth. Where's the best place for those of us that are going to get tickets or look? I don't know whether you've announced the ticket sales or not, but where should they look for them when you're ready for people to buy them?
Really good. I haven't started advertising my shows. They are booked in and already. I will be doing 2 shows at the Services Club on the Sunday, the 15th, and Monday, the 16th of January. And I'll also be doing Fan Zone on the Saturday, the 21st at about 10 a.m. in the morning. So the Sunday night show is a ticketed show. I think it's about $15. It's me and Ian Burns, which I love Ian so much. I know.
And I won't be there. They changed my flights.
Oh my God.
Somebody has to video that for me, please.
When are you flying in?
The Monday. We're flying. We were early. Now we're flying in late. I don't know, but it could change again. I'm hoping it does. They changed from Qantas to Jetstar. And then they charged me the musician bags because we get it with our Qantas and our Virgin flights. But because they changed it to Jetstar without a choice, we have to pay for it now.
Oh.
Yes, $210 each.
Oh.
I know. They
got it from 2000. Oh, okay, cool.
Great photo, Jonathan. Jonathan's amazing. I love what he does. You've probably seen Jonathan around the traps. He supports so much music, but he'll go out and about and he'll have all our merchandise on him, and he's just wonderful. Yes. Now, thank you so much for coming on here to chat to me again. I'm so glad we got to fit it in before the end of the year.
Yes.
It's not far away.
Thank you so much for having me. I love chatting to you. And I look forward to hanging out with you next time I'm in Tassie. I can't wait for that. And
but
we'll definitely see you in Tamworth. Definitely see you. I can't wait to meet your mum. I will give her a huge hug because that's what I do.
I can't wait to meet your wife and children because we haven't.
I know. It's going to be so cool. So they're coming up on the last weekend, but the first Sunday, Monday that I'm there will just be me. Actually, my sister Rachel, who you met, she's coming for the whole festival.
Oh, excellent! Well, we'll have to meet up and have lunch or tea
or
anything.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. She'll be down for that. She's bringing her middle daughter and her younger daughter, and they love country music, and my sister loves country so much. It's her first festival as well.
Wow, she's gonna love it. She'll be addicted though. It certainly won't be her last.
Oh, she will be. And I told her that.
Yep.
I said to her, you know, after the festival, I guarantee that you'll be booking your accommodation for next year straight away.
Unfortunately, Tamworth needs to have a bit of a warning on it, just to say once you've been, you'll be addicted. You're going to have to spend this money for the rest of your life. It's not a choice anymore. You can't not go because you try not doing it, you will just bust.
It's such a good vibe, you know. It's a must for anyone, and even not country musical lovers per se. Just music in general, you know, it's the longest festival we have. It's something different for everybody, great for kids, really good family vibes, really good.
And it's so great because, you know, you're going and you don't just get to see your favorite artists, but you get to see ones that you didn't know about before. And on top of that, artists are jumping up on each other's shows. It's just such a special vibe that, you know, they're not doing it for money. They're up there because they love it, and they're up there for you because they love you guys. So it's a vibe you'll probably never feel, I don't think, at any festival around the world that you don't get that at Tamworth.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's definitely a must for everybody. So all of you out there, get to Tamworth. You know, it's a must.
Oh, Jonathan, thank you so much. You're always so lovely. And thank you.
Nice.
Jonathan, you definitely have to come down to Tamworth one year. You'll definitely have to do it.
Wear that hat. Wear that hat.
Yes, wear that hat. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Jamie, and thank you everybody for watching. I don't know if we'll be able to do lives on the weekend because I didn't have great reception down there last time. So I will do some recording and hopefully we'll get some good footage out of that. But if I can and it's working, I promise I will. But in the meantime, send me your photos, send me your things, and tell us who you're listening to on those playlists. And go and give Open Road a play tonight before you go to bed.
Yes. Thanks so much, Danni.
Thank you so much. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.